Today, we're diving into the secret ways your own brain can trick you. We're going to look at the mental traps it sets and, more importantly, how you can learn to spot them and step right around them. So let me ask you a question. Be honest, when you've got a big decision to make, do you see yourself as this, perfectly logical person, carefully weighing all the pros and cons, looking at every single angle, and then coming to the right conclusion? Yeah, most of us like to think we do.
But here's the fascinating thing science tells us. That's almost never what's actually happening. See, our brains are wired for speed, for efficiency. It's an old survival trait, right? Make a fast decision or get eaten. So to save energy, our brains still use these little mental shortcuts all day, every day. But in our super complex world, those same shortcuts, they can seriously lead us down the wrong path.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This section is called Your Brain's Hidden Flaws, which, I gotta say, sounds a little harsh. What we're really talking about here is something called cognitive biases. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. These are not personal failings. It doesn't mean you're not smart. Cognitive biases are just these predictable, universal patterns in how humans think. Seriously, I've got them, you've got them, we all do. They're just part of the default setting of the human brain. So now that we know what these things are, let's meet 3 of the most common decision traps out there. Think of these as the main culprits that are messing with our judgment when we're not paying attention. First up, we've got the heavyweight champion of biases, confirmation bias. This is basically our brain's natural desire to be right. It makes us actively hunt for any piece of information that supports what we already think, while, conveniently ignoring anything that might suggest we're wrong. You know exactly how this works. You've decided you want that brand new phone. And what do? You Google it, and suddenly all you see are the glowing 5-star reviews telling you what a genius you are for picking it. That 1-star review talking about the terrible battery life? Piff. Your brain just scrolls right on by. Okay, on to our next trap, the overconfidence bias. This is that sneaky little feeling inside that we're just a bit smarter, a little more right, and a tad more skilled than we actually are. It's the gap between how sure we feel and how correct we really are. Oh, we've all been there, right? It's that moment of pure, unshakable certainty. I'm 99% sure I locked the door, or, oh, I'm positive I can make that yellow light. It's that feeling of total confidence right before you get that sinking feeling. That's the overconfidence bias, loud and clear. And culprit number 3 is the anchoring bias. This one is all about the power of the very first piece of information you get. That first number, that first fact, it drops like an anchor in your mind, and then it drags every other judgment you make right back to that starting point. And this is the perfect example. You see that shirt with a price tag of $100? That number is now the anchor. So when you see it marked down to $75, your brain doesn't think, is this shirt actually worth $75? No way. It thinks, wow, what a deal. I'm saving $25. That first price, the anchor, has completely changed the game. Okay, so we've identified the traps. Now for the million-dollar question. What do we do about them? I mean, it's great to know they exist, but how do we actually fight back? Let's get into some real strategies for thinking more clearly. Here we go. This is a super practical 3-step check you can use anytime. This is how you turn knowing into doing. Okay, step 1 is just to acknowledge. Before you make a big call, just pause and admit to yourself, hey, my gut feeling here might be getting skewed by one of these biases. Just saying it out loud opens the door. Step 2 is to challenge. This is where you have to play devil's advocate with yourself. Actively question everything. Ask, what if I'm totally wrong about this? What's the evidence that goes against my current belief? And step 3, which might be the most important, is to seek. You have to deliberately go find people and information that disagree with you. Go read that 1-star review on purpose. Find the smartest person who holds the opposite view and really try to understand their argument. So what does this all add up to? Well, it gives you a huge edge in your decision-making. This isn't just some fun psychology factoid. This is about taking this awareness of your own mind and turning it into a real-world advantage at work, at home, everywhere. Because look, the goal here isn't to become some kind of perfectly logical computer. That's impossible. We're human. The goal is just better awareness. Simply knowing that these traps exist is like someone handed you a flashlight in a dark room. The furniture is still there, but now you can see it and you can walk around it. That awareness, that's everything. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's the next big decision you have coming up? Could be anything. Now that you know the little tricks your brain might be playing on you, how will you look at that decision differently?